Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another exciting episode of Unplugged. It's your boy Pico Black saying, how everybody doing today? Welcome back. Welcome to another exciting show. Before the show starts, you got to forgive me for my voice. I'm a little under the weather. I'm way better than I was. It hit me pretty bad. I had the flu. So, if you see my eyes watering up or something like that, it means I'm still weak, but I'm a lot stronger than I was. Thanks to the Lord, I'm okay, and the show must go on. Before I start the show, do me a favor. Feel free to go to my YouTube channel, Unplugged Pico Black. I'm sorry, it's the Unplugged Podcast now. I changed the names. Unplugged Podcast. Hit that sub button. You can also follow me on TikTok at Pico City, and I'm also on Instagram at Pico Black 74. I want to thank everybody for listening. I'm sorry. I want to thank everybody for continuing to watch my show. Do me a favor, man. Leave a like, leave a heart, leave 100. Leave a muscle, leave a thumbs up. Hey, just hit that like button during the show. After the show, do me a favor. You can also leave a comment during the show and also after the show, and also definitely feel free to share the content. Now, I'm sorry. Now, like I said, you gotta excuse me, man. I'm trying to get through this show today because I'm not weak. It's just my throat, and I'm, kind of hot a little bit because it's still in me a little bit, but it's much better. I got my strength back, so just bear with me. So we're just gonna hop right into it tonight. I put a topic up. Was it a week ago or a couple? I can't remember, but I put a topic up. It was about why marriage don't last. Well, in this day and age, like our grandparents did, like our grandparents or our parents had. So why today marriages don't last? Not meaning just today, like February 1st, 2025. No, I'm just talking about, like, let's say 20 years ago or 10 years ago. How come marriages don't last anymore? Like they lasted with our grandparents or they lasted with our parents. Our parents. I'm not saying all of them because you had trouble back then too. But I'm just saying there was more people married back in those days. Married back in those days and literally stayed together till death did them part. So what's the difference between now and back then? What's the difference? Where's the connect? Because there's a disconnect somewhere. We're still we're still black people. We're still male and we're still female. So what happened? What went wrong? And how can we resolve this problem? Now, and we can't point the finger at hey, it's her, or hey, it's him, because both people have to want this thing together. And I'm not taking out the fact that it could be just her or the fact that it could be just him, because sometimes it's like that. One person can want it and the other one don't want it for that time and being, because like somebody told me a long time ago, people want the wedding. People want the marriage, but they don't want the wedding. Or did I say it backwards? Can't remember. But anyway, and that's true. No, people want the wedding, but they don't want the marriage. So that's how you say it. So what happened? Where's the disconnect in this? And it's not just the black community. It's pretty much everywhere. How come people are just breaking up all of a sudden? Because is marriage a joke now? Or is marriage something that's not supposed to be taken seriously? Or you're supposed to take it lightly? Or you take it with a grain of salt? Is it? Well, the truth is, it's not. Marriage was never supposed to be taken with a grain of salt. You get with somebody, you grow with that person. You guys fall in love. Hey, you want to do the next big thing? Want to get married, have children, or whatever. Or if you're not married and you have children, the best thing to do is to try to marry the person you have children with. And look, don't get me wrong. I'm all about, hey, people go their different way and people go their different directions. But sometimes we have to do the right thing. And that don't just go for people out there listening. That goes for me too. You can't always think things are good and they're not. So why these marriages aren't lasting anymore? Because when you get married to somebody, you're in it for life. Marriage is pretty much a lifetime contract. But then again, you have people that's more devoted to things that's not even in that same category as being married. People be more devoted to clubs and other things like that, or church and all this stuff. But there's nothing wrong with being devoted to church, but you have to be devoted to the right church. Now, that same energy, you have to take that in your marriage with your husband or your wife. But a lot of people don't do that anymore because people get married for the wrong reasons. Perfect example, finances. You don't marry anybody for finance. Our grandparents didn't do it. Our parents didn't do it. I'm not saying they went around and just married Pete the Tramp or just a hobo walking down the street with the little, the stick with the what's name tied at the back like you see on the cartoons walking on the train tracks. No, I'm not saying that. But people are so asphyxiated on, people are so asphyxiated on how much he got or how much she got, this and that. But you pretty much hear it from the opposite sex. It's pretty much the women saying, they're looking for men with this and that. And that's not what it's always about, because you can marry a millionaire and that millionaire can treat you like trash, yo. You can marry a billionaire because he can treat you like dirt. So it's not about the money. It was never about the money, because when you get married, you put your money together, and that's how you guys grow. It's all about growth, knowledge, and learning the things as you go on in life. It's not about, hey, he came in the door with $250,000. So he got all of that. Now, kudos to the guys that can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. If you meet a guy and he say, hey, let's get married, I'm going to sweep you off your feet, I'll be able to take care of everything. But there's a price with everything we do. You have to humble yourself to that man. Not just saying a rich man you only humble yourself to, but you have to humble yourself to pretty much every man. Well, you have to pretty much humble yourself to your husband. I'm not going to say every man, just every husband. If you're married, that man is over the household. And see, that's what people get it backwards, because God didn't say, man, be submissive to your wives. He said, wives, be submissive to your husbands. Husband, love your wives as Jesus loved the church. Christ loved the church. But people get it wrong. Excuse me. People get it wrong all the time. And that's where the connect comes from. The big disconnect, because it was one thing. It was never about money. It's not about what this person can do for you or how can he make your life or he can build you up. No, you have to. It's marriage. First of all, marriage was never written in stone that it would be easy. You can't find me a scripture in the Bible. You can't find me a magazine, and you can't get nobody to actually say, well, I've been married for 20, 30, 40 some years and it was a blast. No, there's going to be heartaches and tribulations. There's going to be trials and tribulations. I mean, there's going to be heartaches too. So we're used to seeing these images of marriage, the family pictures and Sears and just anywhere, Walmart. I said Sears. I mean, like Walmart and stuff. The man and woman, they have the beautiful family, and people just fantasize that, man. You don't know what that man did. That man could have stepped out and had a baby by another woman, and the woman and his wife forgave him, and they became a stronger unit. I can't remember where I heard it from, but some sister said that, and she made a lot of sense. Can you take that man for everything can you take that man for his best and his worst, not just his best? Or can you take that woman for her best and not just her best and her worst? Can you? A lot of people can't do that. So if you can't do that, you might not want to get married, because marriage is never easy. It's a team effort. You build from the ground up. Most of the time you build from the ground up, because everybody's not going to be born with silver spoons in their mouths or big bank accounts. That's why, and that's just part of the reason why our grandparents and our parents last so long. They started from nothing. They probably started working at a little crappy job at the post office or this place or that. She probably worked at Walgreens. He probably worked at Jewel. And they found each other and they connect, and they saw their do's and don'ts, and they knew their right and wrongs, and they had love to actually be there to guide them. And the most important part, they had the Lord. And that's why a lot of marriages don't last today, because we don't have the Lord. We think we can do this on our own, but we can't. But we always think we can. Hey, we can do this, we can do that. And then the slightest thing go wrong, you going down to the court and talking to your lawyer and asking for divorce papers. How did it come to this? There used to be a time in the black community where marriage was plummeting. It was plummeting up. It was great. It was good. You know, people was doing this, people was doing that, but now you don't see that no more. People getting divorces for some of the dumbest reasons. If a man loses his job, you divorce him. No, it don't work like that. If a man loses his job and you have money, now it's your turn to step in. I didn't say step in forever. It's your turn to step in and do what you got to do as what? The help meet. That's one of the benefits of getting married. It's not, oh, well, he loses his job, or yeah, I love him, but if he loses his job, I'm going to give him 6 months to a year. You see how bad this economy is? He'd be lucky he ever found a job within 6 months or a year. So you just, hey, you know what? I can't do this. I'm going to up and leave. That's why you hear a lot of sisters say, I want a man that make a lot of money because I'm expensive. I'm used to this certain lifestyle. But when you're married, you don't have a lifestyle like that anymore. If you're doing it on your own, that's fine. But now you got to think about him just as he has to think about you. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday on the phone, and she was telling me how her and her husband are getting so better at what they're doing. And I'm like, it's like saving up. And she like, hey, he comes in and he's the referee. Put that back, put this back, dude. We saving up for this, and she appreciates that. Now that type of woman is the type of woman you want to be around, because she will help you grow and you will help her grow. But all of this, my money is my money and your money is my money. No, it don't work like that, because there's rules to this thing, man. There are rules to this game. Whether we like it or not, it's not my choice. It's not the people that was ahead of me choice. It's not the people that's coming behind me. That's not that choice. That's just the way marriage is. A good wholesome marriage, you're always going to have God in it. This is the part when you sit and you pray on these things. And when I mean pray, I don't mean just go down and praying and try to ask the Lord for a miracle just so you can get out that situation. You go right back to being an idiot. No, it don't work like that either. Because we always want to get on our knees and say, well, I did this, I pray, I do this, and God put me through. No, God didn't put you through anything. It was just the time for you to do what you had to do, because we always want to bow down and pray to the Lord. And then when we get up, we turn around and do the same thing we was doing the first time. That makes no sense. And we see this almost every day in our lives. I prayed on it. No, God's not going to help you just because you prayed on it. There's probably a good chance he probably didn't even hear your prayer. Let's just be honest. I prayed on it and the Lord fixed it. Girl, won't he do it? Or even to the guys, won't he do it? And then you out there doing the same exact thing that put you in that situation. And you say you prayed to the Lord. So if he did deliver you, the thing is, you don't go back and keep doing the same thing. But we do. That's why most marriages don't work, because we don't have God in our relationships, not in our marriage, rather. We want to go and marry somebody off looks and, hey, she got a big old booty. Man, look at her chest. Oh, she fine. She got the Coca-Cola shape, the olive glass shape. And this man, he's so handsome. He does this, he does that. And girl, he got money coming out the wazoo. I checked, he was asleep. I checked his bank account. He got $550,000 and he's worth this and that. Girl, you better marry him. That's just securing your blanket. And the minute that man do something you don't like, there's a chance, there's a bigger chance of you staying with him and finding somebody else that you can cope with. So it's not about getting a ring and taking expensive trips together and flying overseas and have the beautiful honeymoons. But guess what? When all that's over, husband and wife kicks in. Now the reality kicks in, because that's all gone now. Will you be there for him Like I said, when he loses his job, or if he loses his job. I heard a sister on the podcast. She said, hey, they was like, hey, why did you divorce your your husband? And she simply said, because he lost his job. He wasn't able to take care of me. I have expensive needs. So she left him. So where's God in this? So the thing is, somebody's lying. Remember, girl, I love him, or man, I love her. God put us together. That's what a lot of people say. God put us together. I believe that you're my soulmate. For one, let's just be adults about this. There's no such thing as soulmates. Because if there was a such thing as soulmates, the people that got married and got divorces, that wouldn't have never happened. That's your soulmate. That means you guys are connected any which way but lose. Oh yeah, he my soulmate or she my soulmate. And 30 days later, oh, we broke up. What happened? I just wasn't feeling, but I thought that was your soulmate. Then guess what? Now here comes somebody else. So that's what? That's soulmate number 2, soulmate number 3, soulmate number 4, and the list goes on and on and on. That's why you got to be real careful what the things you say, because people take you up on it. People will really take you up on it. I never believed in a soulmate. This is just me, but anybody can believe what they want to believe, but I'll never believe that thing, well, soulmate, or we destined to be together. No, you can like somebody enough to be with them forever, but there's no such thing of a soulmate. So once again, that's some of the reasons why marriages don't work. People don't have the A for effort in it no more. People don't want to be married for the long run. Once you guys say those vows, that means you guys are locked in pretty much till the Lord takes you. Now, cheating is a whole different story. Now, that's by any means necessary. If a guy cheats on you, you have every right to divorce him. But don't divorce a good man just because everything don't go your way. He lost his job, or you guys have to downgrade your trips, or you have to downgrade your home. So that means he's listening to you by saying, hey, you got to break your neck for me. So when he break his neck for you and you're still not satisfied with him, you leave. And what does that leave him? What does that leave him? It leaves him alone. But nobody cares about a broken home, a woman that's been cheated on and her husband is gone. Now she's alone. Now she got to do everything by herself. And you cheated on him. He's alone. Now he got to do everything by himself. Not saying that a woman can't do anything by herself, because you know how this goes, people. I shouldn't even have to keep saying this, but I have to, because somebody will come on here and say, hey, it's not like women can't. I've never said that. I'm not a feminist, but I'm a big supporter of black women doing things the right way. I'm a big supporter of that. So I don't want nobody to come up here saying, well, you know what, hey, if men can do it, we can do it too. And that's another downgrade in life. You can't be a man. So please stop trying to be a man. And men, please stop trying to be women, because we are built 2 different codexes in our system. Be a woman, be beautiful, be a man, be masculine, be tough. And when I mean tough, that don't mean go outside and just picking fights. No, be what the Lord made you to be. Don't ever agree with anybody's nonsense. Don't ever agree with anybody's nonsense. That's why in the scriptures, there's a scripture that say, hey, how can 2 walk together except they agree? And look at all these people saying, hey, I married this guy, such and such, or I married a guy, I married a girl, because I'm trying to keep it even. And we were equally yoked, but such and such happened. That means you weren't equally yoked. Simple. That's all that means. There's no such thing as being equally yoked, and you didn't know that person was not equally yoked. You knew it all the time. You just didn't read the signs. So whose fault is that? If you marry somebody off looks and he beat the hell out of you, and you know this man is abusive, whose fault is that? It's not his fault. It's your fault. Stop dealing with these men that you think you can change, because you can't change a man. Just like a man now these days, you can't change anybody. So that's another reason why marriages don't work anymore. It's just not there. God's not in the picture anymore. He's not in the picture, but people think we can do it on our own. We're only human. We're not that strong, you know. There's nothing wrong with one day finding a wife or finding a husband. You guys grow old together and you have kids and you leave your kids things, you know, you leave a legacy for your kids. Even if you don't have kids, you grow old with somebody. You did it the right way. A lot of people get married doing it the right way by getting married, but they don't continue to do it the right way, because here come divorces coming in. Here come the infidelity. Here come the mistrust. Here come the we don't talk anymore. Sometimes it's just best to shut up. Go around just mad at the world and just picking arguments. The last person you want to pick an argument with is your husband or your wife, because in reality, that's the only thing you got. Those are your best friends. It's not about just you, or it's not about just him. You guys are in it together now. So wherever you go, she follows. It's not the other way around. It's not wherever she go, you follow. No, it's wherever the man goes, the woman follows, long if it's according to the Lord and it's in a good way. That's the only way. Stop coming into these marriages thinking you can change things. No, you can't change things, because once you change things, well, things go bad. We see it outside every day. We see it on podcasts every day. I was going to say talk shows, but there's no more talk shows anymore like that. So it's pretty much on podcasts every day. You know, a woman, hey, I want a man to submit to me. No. It can't be done. Men are not. And I'll say this 100 times. Men are not computerized to submit to women. It's just not in our vocabulary. Now, people can take this any way they want to take it. And no, this is not a hate speech. I'm just telling you guys the honest truth. One has to lead. One has to follow. That's just the way things are. Animals do it. And I'm not comparing us with animals, because a lot of people say, well, you know, lionesses, they do this, and it doesn't matter. We are not animals. Okay. We're not animals. So some things we can't do because we're human, but they follow the same rule as man. When you see those prides of lions and wolves, I was going to say a werewolf, lions, wolves, and elephants, who lead those herds? So you have to lead. If the man is coming to you the right way, and he's a God-fearing man, and he's trying to get his life together, he's doing it the ways of the Lord. Don't come into this man's life screwing him up, because that'll be on you. You got a ton of women that married church-going brothers and caused these men to backslide. Just like you got a lot of church-going men that cause women to backslide. It goes both ways. But we sit there and we think, hey, it's good for us. He's so girl, he fine. Oh, I can't wait to have a baby by him. And look at him. He tall. He got this, that. He's 6 feet. Every time he walk, you see money flying out his pocket. So no, that's not a reason to marry somebody because they got money. That's his money. Just like it's your money. When you guys come together, then that money becomes each other's money. But no, it's not like that anymore. It's pretty much what you gonna do for me. It's pretty much what you gonna do for me. Well, what more do you have to offer? There's not much to offer, because he's coming to you with pretty much everything you got. Remember, I always remember this. Most women will break up with a man off of their feelings in GP. I didn't say all, Most men will stay in a relationship to try to work it out regardless how bad it is. I didn't say all men. I'm not going to say all women, but most of the time it's like that. So that's that's not a good thing. You know, when people break up, breaking up is never a good thing. It's never a good thing. Let me say this, and I want to be perfectly clear about this. Breaking up is never a good thing, but it's a good thing when you're in an abusive relationship. But then again, if you're in an abusive relationship, you already knew that guy was abusive or you knew that woman was abusive. It's your fault that you stayed, but I advise you not to stay. Go. It's not about, well, he don't make me happy no more. She don't make me happy anymore. No, you're in it to win it. That's why relationships. That's why marriages don't work anymore. We don't have that energy our parents had or our grandparents had. We don't have it anymore. I'm not saying they didn't go through trials and tribulations. They probably did too. But guess what? Mama stayed. Daddy stayed. And it's all, I'm not going to sit up and just say, well, it's just the man. No, because women do some devious things too. Women do demonic things just like men do. Sometimes the story is flipping. The guy can't take no more and leave. Even if a guy cheats on your husband, cheats on you, if you still want to be with that man, you know what you do? Now it's time to get on your knees, get your prayer pillow, get on your knees and pray for you and him. That's all you can do. Pray for him. Pray that the Lord lead him in the right direction, that he may never do that again. Or pray for her that the Lord lead her in the right direction, that she'll never do that again. But we don't want to stay. We don't want to stay for the long run for reward. We want the reward within 6 months to a year, man. You get married just because this guy got money and is already planning in your head. Okay, I'm gonna marry him a year, or I'll probably stay with him for 2 years. I might stay with him for 3 years, but I'm going to divorce him because although the laws are changing, you didn't need an excuse to divorce anybody. You can just get up and say, hey, how you doing? I want to be in this relationship no more. And yes, we're going to court. And God forbid you have kids, because here come the child support. So you have to be very, very careful in this thing called life when you're trying to marry somebody, because marriage is not what people think it is. Don't look at your friend and say, oh, that's so sweet. Oh, I can't wait till my turn come. I can't wait till my turn. I want to walk down the aisle. All my friends is getting married. So what? Deal with your life. Your friends might be married and they probably be the worst marriage ever. They probably got some inside stories, can write a book, and both of them get locked up. You go off your own decision. Don't ever let nobody use their paintbrush to paint your picture, your life picture. You use your own paintbrush to paint your own life picture. That's how that works. So marriage isn't a bad thing. I'm not one of those guys going to be like, oh man, marriage sucks, man. I'll never marry you. No, because all women aren't bad. You have a lot of good women out here. Just like you got a lot of good brothers out here. I will never say that, because, hey, this is a big world. Just because you don't find one on your block, go to the next block. So all of us pretty much have a lot to learn when it comes to this stuff. Marriage isn't forbidden. Marriage isn't a bad thing. It's not. Marriage has always been a good thing because it's ordained from the Lord himself. But the thing is, we have to do it according to his plan. It's not according to my plan or according to your plan. It's according to his plan. And when we stick to the script, as they say, stick to the script, you'll be okay. And just because you're sticking to the script and you'll be okay, that doesn't mean you won't have problems, because we are human. We are born to make mistakes. We're born to make mistakes. Don't ever get to the point where you can't talk to your husband about something, or you can't talk to your wife. Stop running to your friends and telling your friends what's going on in your house, and he don't even know about it. She don't even know about it. But when it all comes to a head, everybody, the whole block know except you. And then when the divorce papers come, you looking like, when did this happen? Hey, look, I thought we were cool. And that's in some relationships. The guy or the guy or the guy or the girl, they don't know what's going on. They thinking everything's fine because you're not even telling the whole story. And then when they find out the story, they sit there and they say, hey, what happened? What did I do? Now you want to run everything down. But everybody knew this stuff before you even knew it 6 months ago. And then he come and grind. I told you he was. I told you he was this. I told you he was that. I told you she was this. I told you she was that. No, stop listening to people, because people will always lead you left and you want to go right. They'll always lead you to that. That's why I don't listen to anybody. Nobody. If you come in talking crazy, I'll sit there and I'll listen to you and I'll be like, yep, yep. And sometimes I'll just say this just to keep the argument or the stupidity at a minimum. But no, nobody's going to sit here and tell me how to run my life. If I like somebody, you like them, you like them. People can talk about them all they want. Hey, she's this, she's that. And if you ain't seen her getting out nobody's car or somebody passing her money and she get into another car, you can't call her that. So that's where a lot of us go wrong at. We judge people off of he say, she say. Well, such and such told me, he seen you doing this. Did you see it? You know, some people will lie on you just to get you out of the picture so they can get with that person. How many times that happened in this world? How many times? The girl, what am I talking about? The lady meets a guy. She likes this guy. He likes her. Her friend likes this guy as well. Now her friend's going to find every bit of craziness she can find, and 9 out of 10, she will lie just to tell you the lie. Well, he was doing this, he was doing that, and I saw him dancing with a girl or walking down the street. It could have been his sister, his mother, anybody. Or it could have just been a girl. He just started talking, hey, what's going on, blah, 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 or a friend. Yeah, girl, I seen him doing this and that. And then your evil mind, because the seed is already planted. And reason when I say the seed is already planted is because now when I say the seed is planted, that means you're walking around looking for an excuse to snap out on this person. Now, here come Lisa, troublemaking Lisa. She tell you exactly what you want to hear. You leave him. Here come Lisa. Knock, knock, knock. Well, if you need anything, if you want to talk if you need anything, just let me know. Next thing you know, him and Lisa's together. So now when you and Lisa talk, she's got to hide him from you. But when you find out, Lisa's not your friend anymore. Lisa will tell you, he's mine now. And then now you're looking at Lisa like, dang, did you tell me all this stuff just to get with my man? Yep. Truth is, you didn't know how to handle him anyway. This happens all the time. It happens all the time. Same thing with the dudes. Don't let these guys ruin your happy home with the woman you're with, even if you're not married. If you like her, that means you have to accept her for what she is. That don't mean you have to accept her for what she's going to do. If she done stuff in the past and you looked over that and you say, hey, I know this and that, I blah, blah, whatever. But hey, we ain't doing this no more. And you guys come to a conclusion that you're not going to do your old ways. She's not going to do her old ways. It's done. Leave your friends out of your personal life. That's how that one works. And then the world will go around just a little bit better. And those are some of the reasons why marriages don't work today, but they worked yesterday, because our parents and our grandparents had structure for each other. They had respect for each other. We don't anymore. You got to be careful with the things you watch. You have to be careful with the things you do. All podcasts aren't good podcasts. You have to pick your poison. Hey, okay. This guy, this girl is saying some good things. This one is just down and all out the blue. And there's nothing wrong. And I'll say this, and this is the honest God's truth. There's nothing wrong with giving somebody constructive criticism or telling them to change their ways. There was never nothing wrong with that. Never. If you got a guy that can sit there and tell you the evil that you're doing, you might need to change yourself. That's the guy you might want to keep, because the next one's going to let you do whatever the hell you want to do. Well, guess what? Do we not see that everywhere? Oh, that's my girl. She can wear all the tight clothes she wants, and she's bending over and twerking on other men, and that's supposed to be your wife. Well, but what do they say? Well, you can do all that, but at the end of the day, she come home with me. Are you sure about that, sir? She may come home with you, but she might leave out the back door and get in Mike's car. So there's never nothing wrong with showing somebody the correct way to go. That goes for men and women. I want to thank you guys for listening tonight, man. I'm out of here. I'll be back probably sometime next week. Just be sure to keep an eye on my page for my topics, man, between 7 o'clock and 7:30. Thank you guys again. And for the people that's new, do me a favor. Feel free to go over to my YouTube and type in Unplugged Podcast. I changed the name. It's Unplugged Podcast now. Hit that sub button on YouTube, man. Definitely leave a like, leave a comment, and feel free to share the content on this show. It means a lot to me. I'm out of here. Until next time. So you guys next time. And this has been another exciting episode of Unplugged. I love you guys, man. Black man, black woman, let's respect each other. Let's get back to the Lord. Let's pray more. Please, let's get all this hate and vengeance out of our hearts for each other. Because when in the end, all we're going to have is each other. So that's the way to do that. Get back to God and let's love each other a little bit more. And on that note, this your boy Pico Black signing off, saying take care of yourself and each other. If you have anything you want me to talk about, send it to my inbox and say, hey, can you talk about this? It'll go up on my page between 7 o'clock and 7:30, the topic. So thank you guys once again. Please hit that like button and feel free to go follow me on YouTube at the Unplugged Podcast. Hit that sub button and I'm out of here, man. Thank you guys in advance.